All right, guys, we're back, and we're going to talk some SE2 news now. Let's start off with some GSL finals that happened actually right after our last show. And Sue and Classic ended up battling it out. Spoilers, Classic ended up winning 4-2. You guys watch any of the games?
Negative.
I watched all 6.
Wow, Steven watched all 6. Crap, I only caught the last 2. And
My tryhardness, since I'm going to have that beautiful coat, I have to go to the Atlanta Red Bull event, showed off to everybody, so I figured I'd start watching games to practice, and every single game looked pretty much like my ladder games against Protoss, I'm not going to lie, it was pretty disappointing. Classic. I mean, I'm honest to God, though, really, like, Protoss players, I'm really impressed that every Protoss player seems to have gotten a lot better recently, and Terran and Zerg seem to be lagging behind. I don't know if that's, like, a correlation or... But, I mean, good on Protoss players, man. You guys are, like, way ahead of the curve.
They all share thoughts, man. They got like Skype groups, right?
Yeah, thoughts, all that game knowledge necessary to do those 2-base all-in. So technical. I like the Protoss players defending. I like the Protoss players defending those. How the 2-base all-ins aren't actually dumb. They require a lot of technical knowledge, and fucking Sue does like literally almost the best possible counter to the fucking Phoenix Zealot shit. He cuts like 6 drones ahead of the Protoss. He goes fucking Hydroling, and he still fucking loses to it. So fucking stupid, mind-numbingly fucking autistically fucking retarded. It's like watching Protoss play sometimes is the farthest you could ever possibly get from a real-time strategy game. You decide on the strategy before the game even fucking begins, regardless of what your opponent does, and even if your opponent counters you strategically, you still manage to win. Why? Because your air-to-air unit also kills the only good Zerg unit that can actually kill. Like, it's so stupid. Fuck Classic, fuck Protoss, and fuck this. So dumb. Sue was a better player. He should have won that series. It was so fucking stupid. It was so heartbreaking watching him lose another GSL final.
Yeah, he was pretty depressed too, actually, when he lost. I actually thought his tweet was insinuating he was going to retire, but thankfully he's not, because I think he's been probably the best Zerg player in the world for the last year now. Unfortunately, he just can't get one, man. He just needs to just win that last one and get himself a title. And that would.
I
remember joking when we first started watching those games. I was joking on the fucking King Sejong station when it was like 6 Zerg bases to 3 Protoss bases.
Gosh,
I was it's fucking game over, dog. He let the Protoss get 3 base. How does he plan on winning? I was actually joking when I said it, and then to just watch his army get steamrolled over and over and over again, watching him barely crank out that win on Alterzine just because the map was 50,000 miles long and the Protoss only trashed ones there. Oh my god, dude. Protoss is in such a fucking disgusting state right now. It's so fucking stupid.
What needs to happen before BlizzCon? BlizzCon's, I mean...
it's still a ways away. It's about 4 months, right?
4 months? Okay, solid, right?
We got a new set of maps. What do you think about the new maps, Steven?
I've heard they're just as bad. Everyone on
Twitter
says
that's what I
think.
I try not to pass judgment on any map until I plan it a lot, because you start to things start to come out as you play the maps more. So something I said last time, I'll wait until I play them. But
okay, good amount of new ones though. So hopefully we can talk about those maybe next week or something like that. Let's see what else. So your tournament, Steven. More details about your tournament?
Oh, so I decided to move the dates back a little bit because of there's so many fucking tournaments coming up. There are conflicts and shit too. Right now the dates I'm looking at that I almost solidly have locked in. I talked to the Team Liquid manager a bit about inviting the 3 that I wanted. I've got a big list of like people that I'm throwing invites out to that and then I'll see who responds back to them. But the ones from Liquid that I was looking at were Snoot, Hero, and who was the other one?
Snoot. Hero.
Oh, Snoot, Hero, and Tasia. Sorry, were the 3, and their schedules looked relatively clear, but I don't know. In August, let me go. Hold on.
August. Oh my god, it's like really soon.
I wanted to do it fucking like ASAP, but I was looking to do it in like 2 or 3 weeks, but it looks like it's gonna be a little bit longer. I think August 11th or August 12th through the 17th is the approximate dates that I'm looking at right now.
Okay.
That I'll start throwing invites out and whatnot for.
All right. You're still targeting the best Korean players?
Yeah, well, I want to get some Kessler players. I'm in contact. I'm finally getting to flex all these little network bullshits that I built now. So I'm in contact with a guy that I don't know how to fucking pronounce this dude's name. What? Oh no, wait, he's on Twitter. Cody, you probably know him. The Chubba or whatever.
No.
Fuck.
Chubba
No.
Chuba?
Wait, hold on.
Chubba Chuba?
No, that's not his name. Chudinator.
No, I don't fucking know him.
Oh, Chudinator. I know who you're talking about. Okay.
You know him? Oh.
I know you're talking about that. I don't actually know him personally, but
I don't know if he's a Kessler manager or what, but it seems like he presents them or whatever. So we've been talking about like available dates for those guys to play and whatnot. So
okay, cool. Still eager to see who what lineup you have. And 16 players, right? 8 and 8.
Yep. And I'm looking at 8 invites, and then 8 will qualify via the ladder. The 2 foreigners that I'm looking at are Scarlet and Snoot. Will probably be my 2 foreign invites, and then it'll be 6 Koreans. Hopefully, a lot of the Kespa guys, and then whoever else responds, we'll see.
Okay. Major back at Root for a 4th time.
Dude, he's doing it, man. He's going to 7 jacks after this.
Oh my god.
That's what he told me,
4th
man.
time. Has anybody ever been back on a team? Actually, more than 2 times.
I made a comment. I made a kind of a side comment on Reddit. I just typed LOL because I thought it was dumb, and then Kat shouted at me on Skype for a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I guess they said that his contract is different this time around, so that he can't just like insta leave the team or something, and that technically he's never violated his contract before. So I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, technically there's nothing wrong with him being on the team. I guess it just doesn't seem like it seems like anytime a big opportunity rolls by, like Major just like pieces out. But I guess they've supported him before, so I mean, I don't know.
It just seems like Root is like a
These big opportunities
setup
paid off
team
for
all
him.
the time. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like the way StarCraft has always worked, has absolutely always worked, where there were these big league teams, right? And then there were teams
The feeder teams.
Yeah, it was like minor league baseball. Like you could call up a player anytime you wanted,
Yeah.
and that would just happen.
Like there were check 6s and Infinity 7s.
Yeah, and I don't think Root is one of those teams, which has always weirded me out. But I guess Katz has always really liked his relationship with Juan. So, and Juan strikes me as like a nice enough guy, albeit a little unconventional in his methods, but you know, good for them.
Yeah, Juan has a little bit of problems relating to other people. He can be pretty stupid sometimes, but
I
overall, I think he's an okayish person. I want to call him a good person, but sometimes he can act so fucking stupid. But I mean, for the most part, he's a pretty good person, and he is a really good player. Still, inarguably one of the top foreigners. Probably the best foreign Terran. Maybe, I don't know. You've got like
he never has results though
in Europe. Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't even come close in results. So it's kind of tough to say that. Actually,
what are the strong European Terrans right now besides the bunny guy? Daishi, I guess is
Daishi.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe those two, I guess, because they've been putting out results. I don't know. I guess Major
Masa's done decent here in an A.
Decent.
Yeah,
Really?
better than Major, I think. I mean, in just
How far did Major make it in WCS?
Masa? Oh,
Same
okay.
Masa.
All right, well.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see. I think Major's a really good player, but we'll see what he does.
Okay, let's talk about Dustin Browder had some comments recently, or this week, about Heroes of the Storm in particular. They were talking about game observer mode, kind of like we see in Dota 2. And they were saying that it'll be available for Heroes. And then the talk was whether it would be, possible for SE2 to have the same thing.
Awkward.
God, this guy's fucking needs to happen, man. It absolutely needs to happen. That's one of the sickest things that can happen to Dota, and it is. They are so fucking far behind on functionality in StarCraft 2, man.
Are they going to even bother? That's the question. I mean, Team 1 is obviously
all in on
Heroes.
That's why it's wild. Are they even going to bother? Like, that's so
But that's
nuts,
why
man.
it's such a funny question, because you could tell, like, they used the same engine. Like, he couldn't really say no, but he wasn't ever going to say yes. So, I mean, I would be very surprised to see any function. Actually, maybe for Legacy of the Void, some of the functionality might be ported over, but before then, definitely not.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, before the next patch or next expansion. Yeah, I could maybe see that.
Yeah, I think it seems like something that will be patched in after Legacy. I'm guessing.
No, it'll have to be for the Legacy launch to sell the game. I don't think very much is ever going to get changed once that game ships. I think they're going to drop it almost completely, as much as they have now.
Yeah.
I would be willing to bet money with odds that there aren't going to be any major significant changes to the StarCraft 2 game after Legacy of the Void ships. But just going by their past history with the game and how much they neglected in between expansions, I seriously doubt anything major is going to get fixed once Legacy of the Void ships.
I don't even think that many things are going to get fixed, like for Legacy of the Void.
Yeah.
You really think that there's going to be a lot of changes?
They did quite a bit for Heart of the Swarm. To ship Heart of the Swarm, they added quite a few things in. So,
but neither Hearthstone nor Heroes were out then.
Well,
I don't know.
Hearthstone was in development, but it's a separate team anyways. But Team 1
is it?
To be fair, yeah, it
the team
is.
that works on
Yeah, it is.
Heroes of the Storm is not a separate team than what worked on StarCraft. They're very,
Oh,
very,
no,
very,
yeah,
very
yeah, but
similar.
not Hearthstone. I'm saying Hearthstone.
No, it
The
is
teams
the
are
same.
named. The teams are named differently, but like the players.
The actual devs, the actual
Yeah.
engineers.
Same
No,
people.
it's the same people.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I mean, like you you number them 1 through 2.
Yeah, I
and,
mean,
like,
Team 1 is definitely on Heroes, and Team 1 was the StarCraft team. So
it's like
Yeah.
that fucking like when you're getting on a subway, and the guy plays like the what cup game is like what cup are the developers under? It's like Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, and they're just like it depends on what scam they're running. That's what they're doing right
I mean,
now.
I think people have read way too much into this interview, to be honest with you. Like so like Blizzard is a very big company with I don't know, 3 or 4 whatever it is 1,000 employees, but the Team 1 StarCraft / Heroes dev team is actually very small. I mean, I'm sure they've scaled it up at this point for Heroes, but when they were just starting on Heroes after again, the first expansion, I think they were they were a small team, and once they moved on to Heroes, the guys managing StarCraft, I assume is enough people to maintain the game and patching the map, but in general, it's a small number of people. So he's certainly not going to commit to the idea of patching this into StarCraft, even though they may have the intention of it when they're not even that focused right now.
yeah.
I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not worried about it at all. If everybody in the Twitch chat and on Reddit is like, well, this is very obvious. They have to do this, and I'd be really surprised if they don't think they should either. But I mean, it's Blizzard PR style. They're not going to commit until they have something to actually talk about. So I just wouldn't even worry about it.
Right. Okay. Last thing I just wanted to mention is so Blizzard. It's my endless pursuit to help with the arcade. So Blizzard's holding a World Cup event with Star Strikers that starts tomorrow. So there's actually a team that represents each country.
What?
Yeah, there's a Star Strikers event that
I have no
that's Blizzard's running. So it's not even mine. Like
Wow.
my Super Star Strikers type of thing. It's actually a Blizzard event, and it's a World Cup event. They've actually picked teams to represent each country, and they're going to be playing on the various streams. I don't even know if there's a main stream. It's kind of loosely organized. I don't know how well it's been organized, but the point is they do have some players and some personalities playing for each team. I'm going to be captaining the American team with Suppy, and hopefully you guys can check it out if you guys are football fans and also arcade Star Striker fans and StarCraft. Then definitely try to watch the event. It should be a really good time, and it's going to be 4 days. It's going to be tomorrow, Thursday, and then I think the semifinals and finals are the following week. So it'll kind of last through just the real World Cup, that type of thing. And it was really smart of them. It's really smart of them to do this type of event, but kind of wish it was better organized personally. But try to check it out if you can, because Star Strikers I still feel like it's a really, really good game. Let's see, next up. I think that's going to be it for StarCraft 2. Anything else you guys want to bring up StarCraft 2 wise?
Fuck Protoss. I hope it gets fixed because Protoss are fucking blaming shit. The new Terran changes aren't going to help Terran very much. Terran actually plays out really well in the early mid game. They could use maybe like a little bit of help in terms of diversity for openings in the early game, but these the proposed changes aren't going to help Terran late game at all. I mean, late game Terran ZBT, like there's just nothing for Terran to do. They just keep making bio, and then eventually Ling, Bling, Muta, and Ultras are just going to steamroll fucking everything they do, even with the perfect splits, with the perfect mine distribution.
Yeah.
So hard for Terran to do anything in the fucking late game. It's ridiculous. Unless they go mech, in which case that Raven shit is stupid as fuck, needs to be nerfed into the fucking ground. But yeah, the new changes, I feel like it just misses the ball too much. Like making Medivacs a little bit stronger. It's like they're saying like we don't know what the fuck to do with Terran, so we're just gonna make the stuff that you have that works in the mid game like a little bit better, I guess, and hope that we never have to worry about addressing the fact that you have no late game whatsoever if you go bio. You know. I don't know. It just seems really weird. And I think Terran run into similar problems against Protoss, although I guess watching Tasia, somehow Tasia makes it work because his sniper control is so fucking good. Or his ghost control is so fucking good. But I mean, like, for 99% of people, like, to deal with Colossus plus Archon plus fucking Zealot Ultralisks is impossible to do when all you have is, like, EMP, you know? I don't know. But, rip.
There's a question about the Z Parcraft article. I might as well bring it up now. Did you get a chance to read that, or anybody get a chance to read it? It was
I read
really
like
long.
2
It's like
pages
10
into
pages.
it. Yeah, I scrolled down. It was way too many Terran tiers. Terran is in a pretty shitty spot right now. I mean, I don't think anybody. I mean, I think Zerg works pretty well right now in this game, and Terran works pretty well up until the late game, and it's pretty easy for Zerg to get to the late game, so Terran gets kind of fucked there. And Protoss is obviously still fucked way out the ass, so Terran have a really hard time dealing with that. So it feels like Terran is in the shitter right now. Zerg would feel the same way if Terran were better, obviously, because Protoss sucks, and we would lose to Terran. But I mean, Zergs are pretty good against Terran right now. So yeah, I mean, obviously Terran is in the shitter. I don't know if we needed like a 450-page QQ story telling us about how Terran is in the shitter, but I mean,
well, it was like a history of the Terran race, and
yeah.
there was a lot of information there. You can check it out, guys, if you have some time to read it. Here's the link. I guess I'll send it to you guys. All right, so let's move on just briefly to Hearthstone. So I ended up casting this well played. Cody, did you watch it at all? This well played event that I can't hear you, dude. You're muted.
Ah, damn it. Yeah, I watched most of it. I missed the finals, which was really unfortunate, just due to timing with ESL One. But it was really good. I was really impressed. Well Played is like such a sick production company, and they've always sort of been like on the outskirts. So seeing them sink their teeth into something was really good. You and Frodan, I thought, were a pretty awesome casting combination. And there were some really bad games, but there were also some really good games, man.
The first 3 were 3-0. It was like so quick. Like our first day was like 2 hours long. It was so fast.
Raynads versus Doc Wanix was fucking sick.
Yeah.
Dude, like he was hanging on for 3 life for like 5 or 6 turns and just turned it around. And then he top decked that Flame Tongue at the very end. That was fucking sick. Then he
turned around and started doom-hammering a Yeti like 3 times or something.
It was fucking ridiculous. He doom-hammered a Yeti. The Yeti attacked him, and then he doom-hammered it again to kill it.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty not that swell. I also heard there was this huge RDU blunder where like he Savage Roared on turn 3 to kill like an Acolyte of Pain.
Yeah.
Just like with the face. Which is like, I don't know, this guy's like one of the better Hearthstone players in the world, but that's sort of like that's an unconventional play for sure.
It is, but some of the top players do. I mean, I've seen people hex Harvest Columns in turn 3 too. You know, it's just they have a different type of line. That one wasn't so not terrible, but just so surprising. Not as bad as doing 16 damage to yourself with your own weapon. Yeah, that was pretty. That was surprising for Reynad, but yeah, overall the event it was a small scale event. It was like an 8-man invitational, 3 days. It was double elimination, except for the finals. The person that made the winners bracket, he didn't get a chance to lose twice. If he lost in the finals, he lost. So that was hopefully something they can change.
We've had that before with StarCraft events. EG did that with there was a really fun tournament a while ago where like we beat Team Liquid and didn't lose anything, and then made it to the finals and lost once. It was just like, well, fuck.
Yeah, it just feels kind of unfair to that player. So I don't know if they'll continue doing that or not, but they might change it. The one thing to note is that the first day, the Friday, when the Millennium Cup, the numerical Millennium Cup wasn't going on, there were 2 Hearthstone events going on at the same time this weekend. But on Friday, the Millennium Cup wasn't going on. That Well Played Cup, they got like 46K concurrent, I think, by the end of it. And it was, I mean, we're talking like small scale, like really simple.
You didn't fly anyone anywhere?
Yeah, it was online, 8-man invitational. I mean, the production was so by the guys. I mean, they were fixing some stuff during the live broadcast and stuff. But yeah, 45. So that's pretty crazy. And then over the weekend, we were kind of splitting views between the 2 events. It was in the 20s, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I'm think a lot more organizations like Well Played are gonna be holding events like that.
For online events, man, that's an accomplishment. I mean, one of the crazy things was when EG started doing D2L, right? And they were just getting nuts numbers. Some of those things, like someone like Conrad, for example, who got, in my opinion, paid a fair wage, was able to, just based off the ad revenue, pay his own salary per month. So like, he was doing that shit all the time. But like these small online cups, like if they don't cost a ton, you can.
Yeah, it's just like 3K event prize pool type of thing. And, but anyways, maybe we'll see some more. The Millennium Cup happened also. That was in France, and Amaz ended up winning it. But it was kind of interesting. There was like no English stream originally planned for it, and then they just kind of did an impromptu one with Amaz, like on his stream, and that's the right person to do one with.
Yeah.
So he was just casting whenever he didn't have to play, and they ended up pulling this French guy that was a producer. Did you see that? And
No.
This guy was, he was just really, really funny, and people were just getting a kick out of it. It was kind of like a home story type of feel to it, but this guy was just one of those really boisterous, hilarious guys, just saying all kinds of wacky things. So it ended up being pretty entertaining event too, and they got somewhere in the 25s, 28 to 28K type of event. But they flew people out there. There were 8 players that were physically there, I believe. So
did the league fly them out though, or did they fly themselves?
Oh, I think the Millennium folks flew them out there.
That's nuts for a team the size of Millennium.
I'm pretty sure they did, because a lot of these guys that went,
Millennium
I'd be
probably
really
losing money on that.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if Amaz flew out to the Millennium Cup. That would be really
that blew my
surprising.
mind. I think that was maybe a little bit of a gamble then, because I can't imagine at 25K that you're gonna make money when you're flying all these players from around the world. But well played, I think probably did. I think there's a ton of money there, man. I think one of the things that I'm most interested in seeing is the BlizzCon numbers, final v final, because I think Hearthstone is just nuts. I think it's gonna be fucking nuts. I think the raw opportunity to just make money, especially when it comes to Android, is just through the roof.
Yeah. Well,
and I think Blizzard is like printing money. I think they probably have like a relationship with like the United States Treasury right now, where they can just like actually get one of the printers, just save everyone's time, right?
Oh man, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what that number is at the end of the year for revenue for Hearthstone, because they were projecting 300 million, right, like a month or two ago. But I wonder if that number is going to change.
Nax will change it. I think Nax has to change it. We'll see, man.
Holy shit!
What?
Sorry, keep going.
What?
Well,
Okay.
Shit,
Well, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for the Hearthstone. So
Ego Raptor posted another sequelitis video. Zelda: Link to the Past versus Ocarina of Time. I have to watch this. Sorry, keep going. I won't do it until the episode is over. I promise. I'm not bored.
He's so watching and fucking now.
It's big news.
Oh my
I'm not watching it. I'm here. I'm paying attention.
All right, let's go to Q&A, guys, and let's see what folks have watched. And I'll see. We've talked a lot about today, so a lot of these questions are covered. To Destiny. So Z Pinker asked, to Destiny, our Lord and Savior.
Wait, did Z Pinker ask, or is this a ChanMan question that was upvoted to the top?
Oh well, both. It's got 55, so it took some more upvotes from the community to get there. So with ChanManV being able to generate his own drama, do you now find yourself surplus to requirements at Unfiltered? Is this the reason why you've become so vanilla, seeing it is the only spot not currently filled at Unfiltered?
Yes. Is that the answer to that question? Sure.
All right, Dvorak for the win. ChanMan, did Esports Illuminati force you to be directly involved in drama as initiation in the Old Boys Club? No. Guys, another question about WCS. Should I just skip it? Gosh. All right, I'll just ask it. Maybe Kennigit can give us his opinion on it, since we ask this question like almost every week. BP Martin asks, in your opinion, what is Blizzard's goal with WCS? I see it as an odd choice to begin with. For example, when Riot Valve put on tournaments, they just justify spending money based on the skin, champions, etc. that current players will buy. When it's WCS tournaments on, where's the return for Blizzard?
Where's the return? So there's no real return, at least for the. Sorry, let me rephrase. The LCS is like a loss leader, I assume, just because it looks like it's so fucking expensive. But they make their money back through the popularity of the game and that they're supporting the product. So not everything you do through your product or your business is necessarily a moneymaker. Like human resources is not a moneymaker, but it's an important part of the business to have a happy workforce and blah blah blah. So I mean, it's an important community, a management tool. It keeps people engaged in the product, and say an engaged community is more likely to pick up on and transfer to Legacy of the Void, and maybe pick up other Blizzard products, and et cetera, et cetera. Like how many people do you know in StarCraft that are playing Hearthstone now? So that, like there's say some super high level strategy community strategy that if you have these products that engage your community, they're happier as a result and more likely to, maybe play WoW or play Heroes or play, other Blizzard titles. So, and StarCraft was built to be an esport. They were pretty clear with that early on. So, it's I think the original goal with WCS was sort of to have a unified system, right? Because there was just so much going on, sort of the way there is in Dota right now with different tournaments and that, and no real consistency. And that's been the prime goal with WCS, is to have a consistent story and you understand a little bit better of where people stand in the world.
Okay.
Or where players stand, rather.
All right, there's a question for you, Kennigit. What is your opinion on alternative StarCraft communities?
Oh, it's just full of K-pop now. It's really sad, actually.
Is it really?
Man, the K-pop kids took over.
Are you talking about 4chan?
Yeah, it's just K-pop now, man.
K-pop?
I mean,
seriously?
Let's be real. The K-shooters have always been in that thread. This is the problem. The problem, it used to be there were a fuck ton of K-shooters that would hang around and would shoot it up, especially late at night. But usually there was enough content to balance it out. But as people stop playing the game, there is not that much content anymore, and it's just overwhelmed by K-shooters.
Yes.
K-shooters have destroyed the fucking StarCraft 2 gens, and anybody that says differently is an asshole. They need a new janitor. They need to clean it all out and fucking IP ban the shitters that keep fucking the threads up. That's what I think.
Oh god.
Wow.
Agreed.
At this point, I can't tell if people ironically claim that K-pop is related to StarCraft 2, or if it's on. I think it started off as one of those ironic things, but then so many people started to do it that like actual K-shitters showed up, and now they like unironically force K-pop is like trying to say it's related to StarCraft 2. I don't know anymore.
All right, what micro asks, Cody, do you have any funny or interesting stories from working at EG, and how much did you pay the channel to get on the show?
I paid for 20% of his active bot accounts. I saw this pop up a couple times, dude. I legit had to stop Greg and Chris, so this is Idra and Huck, one day getting in a fight, like a fisticuffs, like we're going to exchange blows, fight over a stolen pork chop. So I was living in, I think, San Francisco at the time, and they were still over at the Phoenix house, man. And it was crazy. Almost simultaneously, I get this message from Huck. Same time I get one message from Idra. Huck's reads, "You got to get this guy out of my fucking face or I'll fuck him up." And then Greg's reads, "Hey man, this guy ever steals my fucking food again, I'll beat his ass." So it was crazy. So like the way the Evil Genius's house was set up in Phoenix was it was just like one living room, computer. As far like that was the living room, right? So I reached out to Sean Green. A lot of you guys don't know Sean Green. He works in the like for video at Evil Geniuses, and I was like, "Hey man, what's going on?" At about the same time, Jeff messages me and he's like, "Dude, Chris and Greg are they're getting a little heated at one another." So Sean spells it out. Like Greg went to go try and fix himself some food, and this was maybe pretty shortly after Chris got brought on the team. It must have not been too long. So Sean was like, "Well, Greg thinks Chris stole his pork chop," and then Jeff's messaged me. He was like, "Dude, these kids are about to like fucking just fight one another, just right here in the living room, like fucking Roman gladiators." But the crazy thing was, as eager as they were to fight, it was also still kind of like when kids have to go like tell their moms on their siblings, right? Like he did it, she did it. So Chris insists till the day, and they're actually very good friends now. They're really good friends. That he didn't steal that pork chop. But yes, that was like, it was nuts, man. That was the biggest test as a manager of all time. Was trying to break up a fight from a couple 100 miles away where Chris alleges he didn't steal this fucking pork chop, and then Greg is like, "He stole my pork chop. I know he has it out for me." It was insane, man.
Oh my god.
It was absolutely nuts. And they're good friends now. They're just good friends now. So that's it.
All right, one more. Prey Monkey has a question for Kennigit. What's the ratio between stream viewers and in-game viewers for Dota 2? I normally don't watch Dota 2, but gave ESL a shot, or ESL One a shot. Stream viewers seems really low compared to the scale of the event.
Sorry, I was eating a cookie. Give me a second.
What's the ratio between stream viewers and in-game viewers for ESL One? Yeah.
I think it was like I think our Twitch channels combined, like not including the Russians because Bruno did the Russian stream.
Mm-hmm.
It was somewhere over 200K, and in game I think I think it hit 60 or 70. I gotta check. I mean the numbers for this event actually weren't that important. I mean, we're kind of moving towards, I mean, at least with ESL One now, it's like, you know, I'm looking at it as far as a sustainability question, much more about, you know, live event. Because I mean, everyone talks about, say, ad revenue and blah, blah, blah. And it's, of course, it's an important part of the equation, but, you know, 200 or 300,000 peak, you know, I'd much rather focus my time on, you know, how do I get another 1,000 people to come to this event? Because that's you know, super significant as far as, you know, success of the event, rather than, you know, another 10,000 people watching. I mean, I think if you put on a really big event and you do it consistently, people will watch. And the Dota community is growing, and you know, I think the numbers will just get bigger over time. You know. Robert Owen had a tweet last week sort of proposing the question if, you know, esports titles go through waves, and if they will, you know, they all kind of go through their golden years and then they fall off. I mean, at least for Dota 2 right now, I don't know what that would, you know, those fall off years would even look like right now, because the game is, you know, going to get constant support as a free to play title, and with, you know, PI every year. So, yeah, right now it's not like we are gauging success of the event on viewership. Of course, you know, we want hundreds of thousands or millions of people to watch, but, you know, it's a smaller part of the equation than, you know, making a massive event and trying to get as many people to come in and, you know, be part of it and enjoy it as we can.
Okay, interesting. And same guy has a question for you too, Cody. Top 3 ways to get views on your content. Obviously, Reddit is the first, but what comes after it?
I think... Jesus Christ. I think Twitter, I mean, like... Twitter is very important. I think one of the things that surprises a lot of people, especially as they sort of like... So I'm at like 6 or 7K right now, which is not that big. You'd be surprised, like, by just having... How much just, like... You have at that point in time, you have not a ton of people, but you have like people you don't know message you. Mm-hmm. Just have conversations with them, and they'll be into it, and stuff like Facebook too. The crazy thing though is the same thing happens on Reddit with like a much bigger frequency. So I'll have like strangers hit me up on Twitter and they'll ask me stuff, and like we'll have maybe, you know, 2 or 3 tweets back and forth with one another. Occasionally, I have people hit me up on my personal Facebook. That doesn't happen that much. You know, it's weird. Professionally, I know the Daily Dot's Facebook does just a ton more traffic than they do on Reddit.
Really? Wow.
Yes. Yeah, for sure, a lot more.
That's nice. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Wait, the Daily Dot's Facebook traffic?
Yes.
Do you think that's legitimate, or do you think that's the Facebook bots? Because Facebook has had a huge problem with advertising bots and whatnot in the past.
I have no idea. I came from On Gamers, or again, Reddit was our business solely.
Yeah, I have a really hard time believing that, just because of all the reports that I've heard, all the people saying that the Facebook advertising model is failing because nobody clicks anything and because it's all bots and shit.
I have no idea. But I mean, like, for perspective, like the best articles I've had, the best traffic I've done was when I broke the Navi story last month, where NAR was going to Navi. That was the best, and it actually was like one of the top 5 for Daily Dot that month, for all you fucking haters out there. And then before that, one of the really interesting things is I just posted about MLG going to Facebook, and it got a ton of shares on Facebook. Just largely because, like, that's interesting to the non-esports viewer. Daily Dot is not an esports website. It's a website about the internet. So I have no idea how many of those were botted or not, but like Daily Dot's access to Facebook has been really good for us, especially for stories that are like kind of, like don't necessarily apply to the esports egghead. Like for example, like when I wrote the MLG is going to the X game thing, I thought that was going to be nothing, but according to our metrics, it got 11K shares on Facebook. And how many of those were bots, I have no idea. But I can imagine that being interesting to all the fucking normal people out there that were like, wow, video games are at the X Games, right? That's like, you kind of click share on that,
Yeah.
All the floozies in your Facebook feed will, share that right above like their favorite recipes for chicken and then like the fight video. You know what I mean? That's the sort of thing that gets passed around on Facebook. It's like really novel things and then like videos of people fighting and BuzzFeed articles.
Right. All right, guys, why don't we wrap up? It's been a long episode, been a fun episode, lots to talk about. James, pleasure having Kennigit. It was fun having you back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, y'all, you want to do some shout outs and thank yous?
No, thank you to everybody who's listening that came out or watched ESL One. I mean, like I said, a lot of stuff we want to change and fix for the next one, but we were super happy with our first run on this, and we're gonna keep doing it a lot more going forward.
Awesome. No, it was definitely a great event, and can't wait to see some more. Cody, you want to do some shout outs?
Thank you for having me on again this week. This week was a little interesting. Considering big ChanManV 40 over here. But yeah, thank you for coming on, James. Like, this is really sick. I was really glad that the Dota content got a little bit of love.
Yeah, feed the Dota dogs.
Feed the Dota beast. Destiny
only tried to derail us once, and we managed to blow through it, so we did well. Well done, guys. Congratulations.
I hope you neither punch Nathan nor drive over him. But thank you for coming on the show this week. Richard's going to Portugal. I don't know. I'm going to take a sort of an audible on that one. If he dies happy, that's fine. If he comes back, I'm also glad to keep doing the show with him. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's really awesome. Check out all of our content. I don't know. Richard didn't make this painfully obvious, so I'm going to blow the secret for him. Richard's writing for the Daily Dot right now, which is fucking dope. So go check out his content. Go check out my content at dailydot.com. And hopefully I'll see you guys next week.
Daily Dot's the new on Gamers?
Is he working for them full time?
No, he's not.
No.
He's just like doing contract pieces and that?
Both him and I are freelance writers. So
okay,
we
gotcha.
have, contracts. They insist heavily that they get first right to refusal, but neither him nor I work for it full time, which is actually pretty awesome for an esports journalist. So often you sort of have to like, just sign your life away and advocate for a company. But he pitches them stories. If they want to print them, they print them, and they pay them. And they pay them well. So that's why I like the Daily Dot. So go check it out.
Cool. Steven?
Cool.
You done watching that video?
No, not yet. I can't wait to. It's in the sun zone. Thanks for watching me. Destiny.gg/Amazon, Destiny.gg/Ting, and /shave if you want to check out all my cool shit. Hopefully, I haven't posted the Indiegogo yet because I haven't gotten finalization on the dates and the art and whatnot, but once I do, I'll be hyping the fuck out of that to make that dirty esports money so I can fund my wonderful tournament. Yeah, that's all I got.
Cool. Just finish things out. Thanks for everybody that came on the show today. The three of you guys, Bruno, Richard, of course, and everybody else that watched it, and all the folks that have been sending me actually all these supportive messages and stuff. Big shout out to you guys too. I really appreciate all of those, and I read all of those, and I'm just gonna continue doing the content, so don't worry about that, guys. I'm just gonna keep pumping it out. You guys want to watch it, please do. If you don't, then hopefully I can kind of change your mind about the content as we go. But you can find the VODs for this show on youtube.com/ChanManV. I uploaded the first two parts of it, so it'll be uploaded soon, right after. And then you can follow us all on Twitter at ChanManV, at Kennigit, at Gosu Trolling, at Steven_Bunnell. And then Richard is at rlewisreport, I believe, right?
Yes.
And then Bruno's is at Bruno Statesman, I believe. So follow us all.
Statsman.
It's a Statsman.
Statsman Bruno.
Yeah, Statsman Bruno.
He's not like a governor of like a Greek city-state.
Statesman. He kind of looks like one though. Put him in a toga, man.
Showing up
with his
shirtless
open
with his
shirt and
yeah.
sweatshirt.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that would be awesome. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for Unfiltered. We'll see you next week. Later.
See you.